All right, the Outer Brood just came out a few days ago for EverQuest. I'm going to do a quick run through on how to get to all 6 of the zones. This is a Druid character, so we're going to do the old school using the maps to get there, and then I'm going to port there using a Druid port spell, so you can catch a ride if you know a Druid to get there to the first zone, and then I'm also going to show how to get there using one of the stones in our guild hall. So I just came out of the guild hall, and I'm going to hit my map real quick. And the name of this zone is, the first zone is, I'm looking at my other computer string, Hodstock Hills. So we're just going to go right there. We're already in the plane of knowledge. We're going to set that to the end and then activate the path, which you can see the little path there. We got to go to Neculus Forest. This is how I got there when the servers went live on, I think it was Monday. So we're running up to this little stone. Click on that as it's loading. The zones are pretty easy to get to. I'm a level 125, and for the most part, the mobs do not see through invisible, but there are some that do see through, so you got to be careful. But for this little tutorial here, I don't think that I'm going to have to worry about any invisibility versus the undead. So here we are. Let's see where this is the end zone right here that we're trying to get to, or the end point, which is the zone line. Little fence area here. So we're in. I got on within minutes of the server going up when the expansion came out, and actually I got a kill right inside this zone. What did I get? I can't even remember. Ephialtes. Ephialtes. All right, so we're inside the zone. Looks like we're in some water. I hit my invis. Check out the map. You can kind of see the size of the zone. I've got goods maps downloaded. So that's the easiest way to get there, I guess, if you're not in a guild or you don't have a druid that can port you there. So what did I want to do next? Oh, I wanted to hit track. I'm always looking for monsters to kill that are named. These are not named monsters. So what we're going to do now is I am going to go to my guild hall, and then so yet I'll get to this zone from your guild hall if you have one of those statues. While this is loading, this is my gear chart. So far I have 4 characters. Actually my son has 2 and I have 2, but the purples and oranges are some of the new gear from the expansion that we've gotten already. I got to keep track of it when we're looting just to save time, so I made a little spreadsheet. I'm sure there's other players that have made spreadsheets, especially the guys that box. My setup is 3 monitors on a gaming computer, and then I have a 4th monitor on a standalone PC. So I play 4 screens with 4 characters, which means I'm a super nerd. I've been playing the game since $19.99. This is our guild hall. I'm in Black Dragon Legion on the Luceland server. We have a real cool guild hall. Our guild leader, main guild leader, does a really good job of maintaining everything. I have a video on here for this guild hall from maybe a year ago. So you can click on that if you want to. This is the new stone for the expansion. And I need to go to Hodstock Hills. This is a second way to get there. This teleport to the Aureate Covert doesn't work for some reason. So we're just going to try that one. Not try it, but click on it. Once you get into the zone through this stone, you just have to head east. And I'll do that real quick. This part, to get to this zone, there's just basically 3 ways. So I'm going to show all 3 ways getting to the other remaining 5 zones. It's just one way that I have figured out so far. So I'm back in Hodstock Hills, and if you head east, there's my little compass up there. Up to the left here is where you buy all your new spells and stuff. This little village. And then this is how you get to the next zone. Come up to this dude here, Torn, and then you hail him, and then you basically just say get on, and you start flying on this griffin to the next zone, which is the Theater of Eternity. Once we get there, I'm actually going to port back to this zone to show you the 3rd way to get to Hodstock Hills via the Druid port. I think there's a wizard port too, but I don't have a wizard. So we're loading into this zone. Once I hit this 3rd way, then we'll cruise right through the other 5 zones if you're getting impatient. So we're going to do this. I'm going to go to my port spells. It's under Antonica. Ring of Hodstock. There's a group port and a Zephyr port, which means you can throw someone there, punt them there, you could throw a group there, or you can throw yourself there. So I'm just taking myself back to the previous zone. And my dog's starting to bother me. Vinny. Get him a treat. A little slow here. What's up? All right. This is the Druid ring. And to get there, you have to head southwest to the same spot that we just left to get back on that griffin. Every time I move with my Druid, I'm hitting group cheetah and shared camo, and I'm always levitating with my Spirit of Evil spell. But I like to run fast. So this way takes a little bit longer compared to coming in through the guild hall portal stone. Now we're cruising. Get back here and get on this griffin. Hail this dude. Get on, and then we're flying. Which I think is kind of reminiscent of EQ2, which I played for a minute. But I'm not an EQ2 player anymore. Theater of Eternity. I'm probably going to butcher the names of these zones once we get in. So the next 5 zones I'll go through fairly quickly. The only slow part's going to be the zone, actually zoning in and waiting for the computer to load it. Okay. Now this zone is very important. I want to pull the map up. You have to download this map. It's basically a straightforward zone. You can see right here. I'm here, and I have to get over to here. This whole red line box area here, if you run into that, you're dead. It's not even like you're getting hit and it's a slow death. It's like, boom, you're dead. It's almost like a feigned death, quickness death. So I always run around this way. There's a purpose for this that I haven't figured out yet, but I did figure out that if you run into it, you're going to die. And I had some tunes on autofollow, so that was a mess. So when you come into the zone, basically you're just going to bear left and hug this wall. Till you get to the end. Oh, there's a name up too. Captain Luft. Probably dropped something cool too. All the mobs in here are dropping good stuff. Tier 3 gloves, a ring, and looks like a range piece. Yeah, range item. So now we're all the way to the other end. Oops. Hit the map. You kind of see where we're at. We're all the way down here now. And then you gotta come up this ramp over here. Usually people fight back here. I wonder if they're fighting the captain. Nope. Everyone's doing the quest. Mercenary quest and all that stuff to get experience. Let's go up these ramps. Let's get confused right here. And then there's the door to the next zone, which we're going to click on. Which is Aureate Covert. I've killed names in all these zones, every one of them so far, with just 4 level 125 tier 3 grouped gear tunes. So here's this zone. I hit the map real quick, and basically it's the same concept. You got to get from the east side to the west side. Now there's 2 zone connections, and I'm going to go to the first one, which is on top, which is going to get you to the Gilded Spire. I think all the zones are pretty cool too. Actually, I think the whole expansion is pretty nice. Okay, there's a platform. Here's the platform. This takes you to the second level. You have to click on the floor. I'm normally running with my other 3 players, and one of them's a magician, which Call a Hero is probably my favorite, second favorite spell on the game for speed of movement. So we're at the very top, second floor, all the way on the west end now. West end? Yeah. And we're just going to click on this curtain, and this is going to take us into the Gilded Spire. Now these mobs in here, I've killed 1 so far. And this is kind of reminds me of Wuxi from the old school EverQuest. You got to, the one that I killed, you had to be right underneath to belly cast and to belly melee. Because I couldn't put any damage on it unless I was doing that. Hit track real quick. There's a named up right now. Actually, there's two named up. That's a named and that's a name. This is the one that we killed, that we had to belly cast on. Zarek. And the Smasher. Let me look at these names real quick. One of these has the kick butt Shadow Knight weapon, and it's not neither one of those two. I forget which one that's called, but there's a really good Shadow Knight weapon that I need to get. Here it is. Nope. I should have been more prepared. Yeah, here it is. It's called the Gilded Tower Greatsword. It's a two-hand slashing, and it drops off of the Scale Wrath Crusher. And that dude is all the way up at the very top of this zone. This is like a big giant tunnel, or I'm sorry, tower that just winds and winds and winds and winds. So I'm talking too much. Let's go to the next zone. So to get to the next zone, we just basically got to leave here the way we came. Yeah, we made it up to the top of this tower that we're leaving right now, and was getting ready to throw down. And then as we were moving through the final entrance, the monsters there seen through invis, both versus the undead and regular invis. So we had to leave to come back another day. I'm just gonna float down through here, heading west again. Now we're going to the 5th zone, which is Harbinger's Cradle. This is actually a pretty cool zone too. All these zones are really cool. I've killed 4 or 5 different named in here. So we're in here. I'll hit the map real quick. And we're right here. And we need to get over to here, to the Chambers of whatever that says. Puissance? Puissance? So let's just do that. This is where it's pretty cool. The familiar that you get for your mercenary, it's not a familiar, it's a mercenary, which I've got, is one of those flying dragon things. This is all cool down here. Skittles room. And now we're heading down to the next zone. I will shrink this real quick. Cast my Sky Guard. That's the what the mercenary looks like if you get one for the expansion. It's just overkill in my opinion. So even if you shrink it, and I got a shrink ring here, it still is huge, man. And what it's doing is when I'm trying to target stuff, its wings are getting in the way, so I can't click to target stuff. It's automatically clicking that gigantic flying blowfish or whatever you want to call it. So we'll go back to this guy here, which is one of my favorite little mercenary dudes. Now we're getting ready to go into the final zone. I'm talking too much. And the final zone is the Chambers of what I said earlier, Puissance. Now what stinks about this zone, I shouldn't say stinks, I have not explored this zone that much. I have not, actually, I stand corrected. I've been in it a little bit. I have not killed anything in this zone, nor explored it that much. And I do know once you get in here, you can't turn around and leave to come back through the way that we just came in. That's probably on purpose, but we came in that way. And I'll try to leave and I'll show you what happens. But this is kind of cool. Like the walls are alive. Kind of creepy. We'll go down here and look. Gotta hit my invis though. I'm gonna hit the map real quick. And we're here. It's not a very big zone too. Because I think I can track everything in the whole zone. There's a few people in here, some of my guild mates. Alright, so if you made it that far, we're going to try to leave, or this far. I'll show you what happens. And then I'll show my inventory real quick, if anyone is curious to what a druid who's been playing for almost 25 years has in his gear bag and equipped. I'm not a raider. I am in a guild that doesn't require that you raid, but they do raid. I just don't like the experience of raiding for whatever reason. So actually that's fixed. Last time I tried to do this, I couldn't come back into the old zone, so that must have been a glitch when the game came out. So you can zone back. Glad I did that because I've been running all the way through this thing instead of doing what I just did. So all right. Yep, no one's in this zone. I wonder if I'm in a pick zone right now too. Yeah, I am. I'm in Cradle 9 now. All right, let's do this. Let's go back to our guild hall. I don't know why I was doing that. I don't know why I'm going back to the guild hall either. So let's not do that. This is my equipment. These are the ornaments that came with the new expansion because I pre-ordered it. I got equipped. This is all tier 3 group stuff basically from the last expansion, which is decent gear. Blood-soaked ring. All this stuff is... These are new from the expansion. This expansion. This is tier 2 armor, which is of the shackle. I think that's all that I have cool on this character. Maybe I'll pop something up else real quick. The SK got a real cool belt that does the crippling slicer, which slows mobs. I've got a couple of trade skill pieces so far too for the tier 3, which are called basically whatever the piece is for of Uprising. So this is for, I think, a range piece, which no one has made them yet because the expansion is so new. This is a saddle for the new expansion. We'll cast that real quick. See what hell, if I can cast it in here. Nope, I can't cast it in here. Wait a minute. Because we're in an indoor zone. I'll do that once we get back to the guild hall. Here's some gloves. These are tier 1 gloves that I looted today. Haven't crafted anything yet. Yeah, and my shadow needs screen is black right now, so I wanted to show the belt because that is our like best piece of gear so far. It's so exciting. Where's my? Have to link it in. This is pretty cool. This came, I don't even remember what zone this came in, but it has that crippling slicer effect, which basically is a slow when you're in combat. So yeah, this is pretty exciting for a 55-year-old man who's been playing the same video game for the last 25 years. All right, that's it. Hopefully this little walkthrough helps somebody. You can make fun of me. I play a magician, necromancer, shadow knight, and druid. The druid and the magician are kind of the main two players that I play, and my son plays the necro and the shadow knight. My son's 30 years old and he's a chemical engineer, so he plays this game a little better than I do because he's a math guy. I'm just a goofy druid that is having fun. Hit the like and subscribe if you like this video and want to see more content. Later.